Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Uncharted 4 Crushing Difficulty walkthrough, and this is chapter 0, also known as the Prologue. And I must say, this is how you start an action-adventure game. We are in mid-combat, in stormy seas against lots of other boats. You don't know why you're here or how you got here. That will be explained later on in the game, but this is absolutely great, and it feels like a bit of an homage to the first game in the series, since this is, I assume, the ending part of the last game in the series, unless if you count the Lost Legacy, which I think you shouldn't, because the Lost Legacy is more an expansion. But the first game started on a boat, so it's only fitting that the last installment does so as well. And it also reminds me a little bit of the second game, in the fact that you end up in an intense situation where you don't know what happened and what led up to it. But anyway, let's get into this and what's going on. As you can see, my boat just got hit by a giant grenade and we get thrown into water. That is a totally scripted sequence. There is nothing you can do to avoid it, and it is the game's way of showing you how to swim. And when you get in the water, you will get the instructions that you press X to ascend and press circle to descend. And once we get back on the boat, we're gonna start some shooting against other boats. And this game, I think, is the hardest one in the series. That is something you should be aware of going into, if you're going for a crushing run on this game. This is by far the most challenging, because this changed the fighting quite a lot in this installment. Because I've talked a little bit about it in my Uncharted 3 walkthrough, that it's a bit more dynamic. The enemies are really happy about using grenades, trying to force you moving around battlefields. And that is not something you will notice right here in the prologue, since everything takes place on this little boat. But you will see it later on, and I have put together the best strategies I could find to make it as easy as possible. And you will also learn that ledges are absolutely amazing to hang off when you're trying to stay alive. And at this moment, Sam, Nate's brother, is trying to fix the engine so we can continue fleeing from these enemies. So we have to take out a few boats. This is not too hard. I had a little bit of problem trying to aim in this game, because the aiming is, or moving the aim reticle is a little bit, I should call it, heavier than in the first 3 games. It's quite hard to describe, but if you have played the game yourself, you'll know what I mean. And it feels a little bit more swayy. But I got used to it, and I assure you that you will as well. And after you fix the boat, you will start fleeing once again. And all that you need to do now is try to avoid these cliffs. And I have never died going around these cliffs, so I don't think you can either. And after a while, a boat will ram you from the side and we can get further into the game. So I want to thank you very much for watching. And also I want to welcome you to this walkthrough. I hope you will enjoy it, and I hope you will find it helpful. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.